sitting at the dining room table with my family. My wife Alicia is across from me. My daughter Clara, who's about 5 at the time, and my son Charlie, who is about 2 at the time. Charlie is the sweetest boy you will ever meet in your life. Other than his incessant desire to bite my wife in the ass while she is cooking dinner, which is a sentiment I can fully get behind, other than that one thing, he truly is an angel. His first sentence was, "Thank you, Mama." And when he needs his diaper changed, he shouts, "Poop is here." When I get home from work and I open the door, he is the first and oftentimes the only person at that door waiting to greet me. Unfortunately for Charlie, he looks exactly like me. But when it comes to food, my sweet, angelic boy is a little asshole. Because Charlie doesn't eat, like he doesn't really consume food in any way. I really can't figure out how he continues to function like a regular human being. We hand him food. On this night it's meatballs, and he takes the food and he laughs at it and throws it on the ground. I hand him a meatball, he throws it on the ground. I hand him a meatball, he throws it on the ground. And I have the only dog in the world who will not eat table scraps. So like these protein bombs are landing around her and she's just staring at them. When it comes to food, Charlie and I are nothing alike, because when I was a boy, I was hungry all the time. I grew up as a free breakfast, free lunch kid in an age when teachers asked you in the classroom to raise your hand if you were getting free lunch, raise your hand if you were getting hot lunch and you were paying for it. And so it was 180 days of shame where I had to raise my hand and tell them I needed a free lunch. And what happens eventually is you choose hunger over shame, and you stop raising your hand. In 6th grade, my homeroom teacher is Mrs. Schultz, and in the second week of school, she calls me up to her desk, and she says to me, "You're not raising your hand, and you don't need to. I'll put you down for a lunch every day for the rest of the year." It is one of the kindest things that a person has ever done for me. When I'm not eating at school, a lot of the food we get at home is free too. We get government cheese, which is this enormous cinder block size of cheese that comes once a month. It's not high quality cheese, so my mom can't slice it for sandwiches, so she'll hack off these chunks and she'll hand them to us, and we'll walk around the house and chew on them like hamsters until they're gone. I'll go to my friend's house and I'll look in their refrigerators and I will see Kraft Selects, cheese so fine that each slice gets its own individual wrapper, like a technological marvel where they can wrap cheese in plastic and I can remove that plastic and the cheese still looks like cheese. And for so long, I believed that Kraft Singles was the finest cheese that money could ever buy. We would get picnic baskets from the church and holiday baskets, and around Thanksgiving and Christmas, big guys with like red cheeks would come to our house and give us turkeys, and they would clap me on the back and tell me to have a happy holidays. When it wasn't school, my parents would find ways to feed us in the summer. One summer they sent us to Colt Park in the city. There was a camp there that they couldn't afford to send us to, but they knew that at noon a truck came and would feed the camp. So they dropped us off at the park and they said, just go to the parking lot at noon, get in line, blend in, and get yourself some food. And so the first time we went, I went down to that parking lot. I saw the truck right where it was supposed to be. I saw the line of kids waiting for food. There was no way I was ever going to blend in. There were 20 kids in the line, and not a single one of them was white. Not a single kid in the entire park was white. There was no way I was going to get into that line and look like one of these kids who belonged to this camp. And to be honest, I didn't want to blend in. I didn't want anyone to know I was hungry. It turns out that when you're a kid and you're hungry, the last thing you want anyone to ever know is that you're hungry. It becomes a secret. It's shame and embarrassment in silence. And throughout all of my childhood, I never tell anyone that I'm hungry all the time. And so now I'm sitting at a table with a little boy trying to get him to eat meatballs, and he's throwing them on the floor, and it's making me crazy. So I ask my wife, Alicia, I say, what are we going to do about Charlie and the food? And she tells me that she's going to the pediatrician the next day, so she'll get an answer. And I love that because I like when experts solve my problems. So the next night, we're back at the table, and Clara is eating all her food. She's perfect. She's like me. And Charlie is not. It's peas tonight, and somehow, like, he is a master food thrower. He's defying the laws of physics. They're everywhere. I swear to you, he somehow has made the peas go up the stairs and into his bedroom. I will find them everywhere in the house for days, and he's laughing. And so I turn to Alicia, and I say, what did the pediatrician say about Charlie and the food? And she takes a deep breath, and she puts her fork on the plate. And I brace myself. I know something's coming. She tells me that when Charlie throws food like this, we have to take all the food away, and we can't give him anything until the next meal. And then she says, I know that's going to be hard for you. And I'm surprised by what she says because I'm an elementary school teacher. I believe in punishing children to change behavior. I am an expert at making children hurt. Like, teachers in my school on a weekly basis come to me for new and creative ways to make children suffer so they will stop doing the asinine things that they do on a daily basis. And my wife is a teacher too. We believe in making our children suffer to make our lives better in the long run. And so I say to her, why do you say it's going to be hard? And she says to me, because I know that when you were a boy, you were hungry all the time. And that's true. But I had never in my life told my wife that secret. I had never spoken that to a soul. But at that point, I'm with Alicia for 12 years. She's heard my stories. She's gotten to know me. And she's figured it out. Matt was hungry when he was a boy. And then she tells me that when I packed the lunches in the morning for Clara for kindergarten and Charlie for preschool, I put more food in their lunch boxes than a kid could ever eat in a single day. And she comes down after I leave, and she unpacks the lunch boxes. And she has never wanted to tell me that because she knows how important it is for me to send my kids to school with more food than I ever dreamed of having. And so I'm sitting across from my wife, and I realize she knows me better than anyone has ever known me before. She knows my heart better than I know it. I'm sitting there with my asshole son and my perfect daughter and my beautiful wife, and I have never felt more full than in that moment. Thank you.